Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, with a sudden, inexplicable feeling of dread? Maybe you glance at the clock and see a strange, repeating number. For many, that time is 3:17 a.m. It's a moment that seems to hang in the balance, a crack in the fabric of our ordinary lives. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of 3:17 a.m., exploring the haunting calls, area coincidences, and life-altering events that seem to cluster around this specific time. Is it just a random number, or is something more profound at play? Let's start with the stories. Accounts pour in from all over the world, people from different cultures and backgrounds, all sharing a similar, unsettling experience. It often begins with a phone call. An unknown number flashes on the screen at exactly 3:17 a.m. Some answer, only to be met with chilling silence, strange static, or a faint, distorted whisper that's impossible to understand. Others, paralyzed by a gut feeling, let it ring, watching the screen until it finally goes dark. One of the most famous accounts comes from a woman named Sarah. For weeks, she received calls from an unlisted number at 3:17 a.m. on the dot. At first, she ignored them, dismissing them as glitches or spam. But her curiosity grew. One night, she decided to answer. The line was completely silent. "Hello?" she said, her voice trembling. "Is anyone there?" Nothing. Just an unnerving, empty void. The next day, she learned that her childhood best friend, who she hadn't spoken to in years, had passed away in a different time zone. The time of death, it corresponded to exactly 3:17 a.m. where Sarah was. This story isn't unique. Paramedics and emergency room nurses have anecdotally reported a strange spike in critical calls and admissions around the 3 a.m. hour. Call it the witching hour, a time when the veil between worlds feels thin and the human body is at its most vulnerable. But why 3:17 specifically? What makes this 17-minute mark so significant? To understand this, we need to look at the numbers themselves. In numerology, the number 3 is often associated with creativity, communication, and the spiritual trinity. It represents the connection between mind, body, and spirit. The number 1 signifies new beginnings, leadership, and raw initiative. And 7, that's the number of spiritual awakening, introspection, and deep esoteric knowledge. It's considered a highly mystical number across many cultures. When you combine them, 317, you get a powerful sequence. It could be interpreted as a spiritual message, a call from the universe, or even from our own subconscious, urging us to wake up. 3, the spirit, is using 1. A new beginning. 2 prompts satiety, a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. The sum of 3, 1, and 7 is 11, a master number in numerology that signifies intuition, enlightenment, and a direct line to the spiritual realm. So, a call at 3:17 a.m. might not just be a random occurrence. It could be a numerical wake-up call. Let's shift from the mystical to the scientific. Is there a biological reason we might wake up at this time? Our bodies run on an internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm governs our sleep-wake cycle. Between 3 m and 5 m, our core body temperature is at its lowest. Our breathing is shallow, and our bodies are in a state of deep rest. According to traditional Chinese medicine, this is the time when the energy meridian associated with the lungs is most active. The lungs are tied to emotions of grief and sadness. Waking up during this window could indicate unresolved emotional issues or a deep-seated sorrow trying to surface. Furthermore, this is the time when our production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, begins to decline, while cortisol, the stress hormone, starts to rise in preparation for waking up. For people dealing with anxiety or stress, this hormonal shift can be jarring, jolting them awake with a racing heart and a sense of panic. The specific time of 3:17 could simply be the moment this internal chemical crossover hits a critical point for certain individuals. Their brain, seeking a pattern, latches onto this specific time, reinforcing it through anxiety and confirmation bias. Every time they wake up near that time, they look at the clock, see 3:17, and the connection becomes stronger in their mind. But what about the phone calls? A biological explanation doesn't account for an external device ringing at that precise moment. This is where the theories get even more fascinating. Some paranormal investigators believe that 3 a.m. is the devil's hour, a mockery of the Holy Trinity, and the time when paranormal activity is at its peak. The argument is that the electromagnetic field is more conducive to spiritual communication during these pre-dawn hours. A phone, being an electronic communication device, could theoretically act as a conduit. The static and whispers heard on the line could be attempts at electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, where spirits are thought to manipulate electronic devices to communicate. Think about it. Our world is saturated with invisible signals. Wi-Fi radio waves, cellular data there, all around us, all the time. Is it so far-fetched to believe that in the quietest, darkest hour of the night, other, more subtle signals could break through? Perhaps these 3:17 a.m. calls aren't from anyone in our world, but from somewhere else entirely. Let's go back to the human element. The stories are what make this phenomenon so compelling. Consider the case of Mark, a long-haul truck driver. He was asleep in his cab at a rest stop in the middle of nowhere. His phone rang at 3:17 a.m. It was his wife. Panicked, he answered, thinking something was wrong at home. But her voice was calm, almost distant. "C'est juste, turn around, Mark. Go back." Then the line went dead. Confused and unsettled, he tried calling her back, but it went straight to voicemail. A powerful instinct told him to listen. He turned his rig around and drove an hour back, the way he came. Later that morning, news broke of a massive, multi-car pileup on the exact stretch of highway he would have been on. His wife, when he finally reached her, had been sound asleep and had no memory of making the call. Her phone showed no record of it. Was it a guardian angel? A premonition channeled through his wife? Or his own intuition manifesting as a phantom call? These are the questions that keep us up at night, long after the clock has ticked past 3:17. The phenomenon also has a cultural footprint. In online forums and social media groups, thousands of people share their 3:17 experiences. It has become a modern folklore, a digital ghost story shared across the globe. Some treat it as a warning, a sign to pay attention to their surroundings or their inner feelings. Others see it as a sign of connection, a message from a loved one who has passed on. For them, the call isn't scary, it's comforting. It's a reminder that love and connection can transcend even death. So what should you do if you get a call at 3:17 a.m.? First, don't panic. Take a deep breath. Whether you believe it's spiritual, psychological, or just a coincidence, your reaction is what matters. If you feel a sense of dread, maybe it's your body's way of telling you something is off. Check your locks. Make sure everything is secure. If you feel a sense of peace or curiosity, maybe it's a moment for introspection. What is on your mind? What has your subconscious been trying to tell you? You could even try to use it as a tool for self-discovery. Keep a dream journal by your bed. If you wake up at 3:17, write down whatever you were dreaming. Any thoughts or feelings that immediately come to mind. Over time, you might start to see a pattern, a message from the deepest parts of your own mind. The call might not be coming from an external source, but from within. It could be your own spirit, your higher self, using the quiet of the night to finally get your attention, urging you to make a change, to follow a dream, or to heal an old wound. Ultimately, the mystery of 3:17 a.m. is what we make of it. It's a fascinating intersection of science, spirituality, and human psychology. It is a testament to our innate desire to find meaning and patterns in the chaos of the universe. Whether it's a glitch in the matrix, a message from beyond, or a quirk of our own biology, it forces us to stop and listen. In a world that is constantly loud and busy, perhaps a moment of unsettling quiet at 3:17 in the morning is exactly what we need. It's a reminder that there are still mysteries left to explore, both in the world around us and deep within ourselves. What do you think? Have you ever had a strange experience at 3:17 a.m. or any other specific time in the middle of the night? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into life's greatest mysteries. Sleep tight, and maybe keep your phone on silent.